Good morning. Thank you for joining me for Walking with the Word. I want to talk about my beautiful 6-month-old boy. We've just started weaning him onto solid food, and it's so much fun weaning a baby. So up to now, it's unbelievable. He's grown so much over the last 6 months, and all of that has just been purely on milk, and I just find that astounding. I love the way that humans are designed and they grow, and it's just such a beautiful thing to be part of the journey of a little human being learning to eat, and food and eating is something that's close to my heart. So today I wanted to talk about this journey of food that we go on, and it's made me think about our spiritual journeys. And in our spiritual journeys, we go through a similar journey where we start on milk and we begin to get solid foods, and there's a kind of process there. So the first thing to say is I think when we're talking about milk and the food, it's talking about the stuff we take into our being spiritually, the teachings. When Paul talks about it, is talking about the teachings and the ideas that we're grappling with, and the questions we're asking, the things we're thinking about. And the thing to say really before we go into this is wherever you're at, if you're taking milk or solid stuff, doesn't matter. There's no shame, there's no embarrassment, there's no guilt, there's nothing wrong in even if you're further on in your faith, going back and having some milk, reminding yourself of the foundations. So this isn't about shaming, it's just about reflecting and thinking about what we put into ourselves spiritually. But this process of weaning a baby's got me thinking about our spiritual journey. So I want to share 5 lessons from baby-led weaning that we can reflect on in our own spiritual journeys too. Now, baby-led weaning is an interesting way of getting a baby onto solid food. Basically, you boil up some vegetables, maybe some broccoli, sweet potato, whatever. You put it in front of the baby, and you just kind of let the baby play with it, pick it up, and they'll explore it. And then babies inevitably at this sort of age, everything goes to their mouth. So once they've picked it up, they'll kind of rub it around their mouth, and of course the whole thing's a new experience for them, and that's how they begin eating. And I wanted to share just 5 ways in which watching my baby weaning in this way is making me think about us as we spiritually grow and take things in. And the first thing to notice, and this is the most obvious thing, is that it's so messy. So I'll give him a broccoli, like a little stem of broccoli, boil it up, pop it on his tray, and it'll get mashed up, minced up, it'll be everywhere, spread all over the place, and it's just chaos. And I think that's kind of like us spiritually too. As we grow spiritually, we make a mess, and stuff gets spread all over the place. And if you're in a relationship with another Christian who's on the journey themselves, if they're kind of growing spiritually, you'll probably find similar things. It'll be messy, it'll be chaotic. Don't worry about that. That's natural, it's normal. The mess is kind of part of the learning and growing process. But that was the first thing. So weaning and learning and growing spiritually is a messy process, and food gets everywhere, and if you're a bit like me, you'll find that even as an adult, food also gets everywhere. It's not something that's unique to weaning a baby. The first thing is it's messy. The second thing is every experience is new, and that's what's wonderful about it. Even when I've been going for a little while, for a few weeks, the whole thing still feels new. There's something about his facial expressions that I love. When he's sitting up in his chair, I think he just feels like he's king of the world. Every experience is a new one to him, and it's new textures, new flavours, new smells, new experience, the experience of holding the food. Everything's new, and that comes with a sort of joy and an enthusiasm, which has really surprised me at times, the way he kind of lunges for the food. I mean, he is my son after all, so there's probably no surprises there, lunging for food. But it's that kind of newness of everything, and I love that kind of excitement that you see in new Christians as well, that passion, that enthusiasm, excitement, everything is new, and it kind of challenges me to refresh that in myself. I've been walking with God for many years now. I've been Christian most of my life, and going back to that kind of fresh enthusiasm and excitement is quite an encouraging idea. So I don't know if there's any way we can stimulate that and foster that in our own lives. Number 3, this was an interesting one. I'd given him some sweet potato, and he actually, first time he took it, he didn't really like it, but we just kept giving it to him, kept trying it, and he basically got to this point where he started to love it, and he'd hold it so tight, this kind of baby grab reflex, and he had this bit of sweet potato in his hand, and he'd bring it to his mouth, he'd kind of chew it a bit and just move it around, and he's still holding it, and over time the sweet potato just got mushed up in his hand and he could barely eat anything from it. And I wanted to put a new piece in his hand, so I was kind of trying to prise his little fingers open just to kind of get this old sweet potato out and put a new piece in, and eventually I managed to recover the old mushed up sweet potato and give him a new piece, and this really spoke to me. I thought, this can be like us in our faith, in our relationship with God. We can hold on to things so tightly, and our Father's there trying to prise our hands open. No, I've got something new for you, I've got something better, just work with me, come on, let me get that hand open. And just how tight he was holding it, and he was holding it so tight it was actually squashing it and making it even less enjoyable for him. And I wanted to help him as a father, and I wonder if there's a point where he was thinking, what's my dad doing? Why is he trying to take food of me? And maybe he's holding on to it more tightly, you know, this kind of father-son competition for food. But because he was holding it so tightly, that was the very thing that was damaging the food. And I felt, as I was kind of reflecting on this, that this is, there's nothing sinful about the food. I don't think this is meant to represent a sin in our life that we're holding on to. Actually, the food's a good thing, but it's a good thing that's not as good as it could be. And it's a good thing that we're destroying. So it may well be that there's something in your life, and this might apply to someone, so I felt quite strongly I needed to share this. There's something in your life, it's not a sin, it's not wrong, but it's not as good as it could be, and God's trying to prise your hand open, and he wants to exchange it, he wants to change out with something better, but you're gripping onto it really tightly. And if that's you, if you can think of something like that, I'd just encourage you, work with him, let him open up your hands and let him put something better in. Just trust him. So I felt like that was one that I really needed to share. Another aspect of baby-led weaning that's really interesting and has some kind of spiritual significance is you have to supervise. You can't leave a baby to just get on with it, because especially when they've only ever had milk at this young age, they don't know how to deal with the solid lumps. So it's really interesting watching the way, instead of just kind of chewing the food like an adult, he's not got teeth, he's only ever had milk, they kind of roll it around their mouth using their tongue, and it's really sweet. But it just occurs to me that it would be so easy for fortunately this hasn't happened to my boy yet, but for a piece of solid carrot or something just to go down the wrong pipe and to make the baby choke. So you have to supervise, and I think this is like us as well in our faith. I think as we learn and we grow and we understand God better, and we obtain teachings and ideas and doctrines and philosophies, we need help, we need supervision, we need people in our lives, whether that's a friend or family member who's got some wisdom and maturity, or whether that's the help of someone through your church. Just get help, talk to people, ask questions, and keep growing, keep learning. And the final one, number 5, the 5th lesson I've learned from baby-led weaning is satisfaction. One thing I absolutely adore is how satisfied my little boy is with whatever we put in front of him. So you give him some broccoli, and we'll be sat there eating this lovely breakfast, eating pancakes or something, and he's just gnawing on this broccoli like it's the best thing in the world. He's just loving it and appreciating it. He's found his lot. He is satisfied. He's fulfilled. He's happy. He's content. He's got his moment. And I just want to encourage us to be like that in our faith, and even in our lives in general. Be satisfied with what you have. Be satisfied with what God's blessed you with. Be grateful, because that's how you begin to see the value of things. It's that kind of gratitude and that appreciating the value of things that will help us to grow and see the world better, to enjoy what we really do have. We are blessed. God's blessed us. God's blessed us so much, and he loves us. So I want to finish with a prayer. So Father, thank you for your word. Thank you for your teachings. Thank you that you want to grow with us and you want to encourage us to grow. And Father, as we go on the journey of growth with you, Help us to understand and enjoy the things that you're giving us. Help us to take the food you're giving us, Lord, whatever we need, help us to accept it. If there's anything that we're holding on to tightly and we're squashing with our own hands, help us to relax the grip and help us to let you change it for something better. Thank you that you always change the old to new. Thank you, you supply us with everything we need, Lord, that you feed us, you nourish us, you protect us and you grow us. In Jesus' name. Amen. So thank you for joining me for Walking with the Word today. I'll be putting these videos out every day. If you want a reminder that they're going to be up there, please just click that subscribe button, press the bell, that'll give you a notification on your phone. If you have any comments or reflections or thoughts, then just drop a comment below this video. It's always great to hear from you. God bless you, have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.